Hello, and welcome to Rampant Red Devils episode 5. You already know who I am, and as you can tell, my mood is one that's not great for this video. Manchester United against BSC Young Boys in the first group game of the Champions League. I was expecting a walkover from Man United. Young Boys are a small Swiss side. The result turned out to be completely different, and I'm severely annoyed at what I saw last night. So enough talk, let's begin. So I'm not really going to get into the analysis as such because it's just me going to be in an absolute rage. First of all, the only positive I can take from the game is Bruno and Ronaldo. Because Ronaldo scored again, 3 goals in 2 games on his return. Bruno Fernandes with an absolute worldie of an assist, and outside of the boot pass in between defenders that led, and the ball led straight to Ronaldo's feet, who had a simple finish to make it 1-0. All was going well at that point. United were playing some good football, and all of a sudden Wan-Bissaka gets sent off. It was a stupid challenge. People trying to say that it's not a red card. It is. He takes a heavy touch when the basics of football is you know how to control a football with your first touch, and then he takes out the defender, which was a reckless challenge, and it's a red card. So we're down to 10 men, which obviously isn't helpful because it gives Young Boys an advantage to get back into the game. And by the end of the first half, 1-0 looked respectable enough, especially with 10 men on the ball. And then here comes the negativity. He takes off Donny van der Beek, who had his first start of the season and had played really well up until that point, for an extra defender to go 5 at the back. Ollie, what are you doing taking off Van der Beek for another defender? Why are you going 5 at the back? You know that 5 back doesn't work well, because we either draw or lose when we play 5 at the back. But to go 5 at the back against a Swiss team that aren't better than Basel, you must be kidding me, Ollie. But obviously that change happened, and then the second half is just diabolical. So after that shock substitution, United begin to park the bus away from home at BSC Young Boys. Oh my God, what are you doing, Ollie? 5 at the back, parking the bus. This is like Mourinho tactics. It's unbelievable and a disgrace. He then then Young Boys equalise because we're trying to sit deep and hold on for a point against a Swiss team. Why? Why are you trying to play for a point against a Swiss team? We have one of the best squads in the Premier League, if you think about it. Why are we playing negatively and playing for a point against a bang average side who probably aren't better than Norwich? You should be obliterating these types of teams, not sitting back, playing Mourinho part of the bus tactics for a point, especially in the best competition in European football. It's a joke. An absolute joke. So they make it 1-1. And then, to make things even worse and to make me even more annoyed, he then has the gall to take off Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes, the 2 most likely players to be able to win the game for us. Why are you taking Ronaldo and Bruno off? It's negative tactics and negative substitutions. It's not needed. You then bring on Lingard, who you're bringing on to play as a striker, when he's clearly not a striker. So he takes off Bruno and Ronaldo, which also negatifies the impact of the past couple of games. You know, we shouldn't be playing for a point anyway. He's taken off the 2 best players on the pitch who combined so well for the first goal, the only goal we scored of the game. And then he brings on Martial for the last 5 minutes and takes Fred off. So, right, you take off Bruno and Ronaldo to put Lingard and Matic on. Fair enough. Lingard isn't a striker, so why you didn't bring on Martial, I don't know. But then again, Martial isn't the best forward we have because Cavani's injured. You then take off Fred, who probably deserved to go off before Donny van der Beek at half-time. You take him off with 5 minutes to go to bring on Martial, right? Why are you making an attacking change with 5 minutes to go? You should have brought Martial on with 20 minutes to go, or even kept Ronaldo and Bruno on. So I don't know what you're playing at, Ollie. So he then takes off Fred, who and leaves Matic on. Matic, as we all know, has hardly got any pace and is not the player he used to be. So that significantly makes our midfield weaker. And then into added time, young boys are all on top. United are just sitting back, playing desperately for a point. And then, in the 95th minute, Jesse Lingard, who only came on as a substitute, decides instead of playing the ball to any other Manchester United player on the pitch, he could have played it to Dalot, he could have played it to Maguire, he could have played it to Martial, he could have played to Matic. No, he decides to go back to David De Gea, and he undercooks the pass. And guess what happens? The young boys player latches onto it, and he slots it past De Gea, who just falls onto the floor and makes no attempt to save the shot, and it's 2-1 young boys. This defeat is on you, Ollie, I swear. After all the positivity we have of being top of the Premier League with 10 points from the first 4 games, even though it should be 12, as I mentioned in the last video, to then lose the first Champions League group game to bloody BSC young boys. Are you kidding me? And people trying to defend Ollie that we're playing the best football under him for years since Fergie, and the fact that we've got a great squad now, and the fact that it's only the first Champions League group game. I don't care. This defeat has implications of the defeat we had against the Istanbul Başakşehir. They're rubbish. They're absolutely rubbish. Young boys aren't even the best team in Switzerland, and we still lost to them. Everyone trying to defend Lingard and Martial and all the players, I don't care. Bruno and Ronaldo are the only 2 players that come away from this with praise. And maybe Van der Beek as well, because he played well in the first half. And I feel sorry for Donny van der Beek, because yet again, he was one of the best young midfielders in Europe at the time he was at Ajax. One of their best midfield players, coming through an academy that had De Ligt and Frankie de Jong. He's won many Dutch titles, got so many Dutch caps. He's one of their better midfield players, and he's not even getting minutes because he's being left to rot on the bench by a manager who believes that Fred, McTominay and Matic are all better than the Eredivisie winning Champions League semi-finalist Donny van der Beek, and Nations League winning as well Donny van der Beek. Are you being serious? Are you actually being serious? You cannot tell me that a Nations League winning, an Eredivisie winning, a Dutch Cup winning central midfielder is not better than a 33-year-old Serbian who's passed it, a Scottish midfielder that only turns up against teams like Leeds and Man City, and a Brazilian midfielder who's apparently £52 million, who is absolutely diabolical and shouldn't get anywhere near this Man United team. It's a joke, it really is. And people defending Ollie, why are you defending him? This is BSC young boys, we're Manchester United. We should be obliterating them 4 or 5-0, especially when you have Ronaldo and Bruno in the team. But no, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer decides to substitute them off and play for a bloody point when you're playing 5 at the back. I mean, yeah, the Wan-Bissaka sending off doesn't help, but what are you doing? It's just so infuriating, because we started off the season so well, and I was saying in the last video, oh yeah, we might actually have a chance at the Champions League and the Premier League. We're not going to be winning the Premier League title if Ollie continues to make stupid decisions and negative tactics like that. We're definitely not. You've got Antonio Conte and Zinedine Zidane who are out of a job. It makes you wonder what they would have done if they were in charge of us. Would you have seen Thomas Tuchel, Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp when they go a man down in a Champions League group game, go 5 at the back and play for a point against a team like Young Boys with the squads they have? No. So why is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doing that? And another statistic. Ever since Ole's been in charge, Man United have lost 7 of the last 11 Champions League games that we've played. Do you see Pep Guardiola, Tuchel or Klopp or even Mourinho have those types of records? No, you don't. You need to improve your man management, Ole, because, as I tweeted earlier, you've got far bigger personalities in the dressing room than you. Ronaldo is a far bigger personality than you. Bruno is a far bigger personality than you. Even Pogba and Varane. If they see the negative results like this in a game that we should be winning, they're definitely going to want you out for someone better. I'm just so infuriated because we started the season so well and positively, and then we turn up and play with a performance like that. It's just to make all the rival fans laugh at us and think that we're going to be winning the Premier League, Champions League, etc. We're not if you're going to be playing like that. I feel sorry for Ronaldo and Bruno and specifically Donny van der Beek, because they were the 3 best players on the pitch last night. I mean, the next game is against West Ham away from home. West Ham are a very good side. They are a good side, especially at home. They didn't get into the Europa League last season for no reason, and they've started off the season quite well as well. You have to rectify the performance from last night, Ollie. I won't accept anything less than a win against West Ham. I won't accept anything less, because if we draw or lose against West Ham, I'm going to be so annoyed. I'm already annoyed from the result last night, to be honest. But if you can't beat West Ham with the squad we have, then you don't deserve to be in charge. Forget fans saying that it's the best football we've played since Fergie. Forget where we are in the league. Forget where we finished last season. We've lost 7 of the last 11 Champions League games with him in charge. We've bottled 4 trophies since he's been in charge. We bottled the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. We bottled a Europa League semi-final against Sevilla. We bottled a Europa League final on penalties against Villarreal. We bottled another FA Cup semi-final in the time he's been charged. And yet fans are still loyal to him because he's an ex-player and because we've played the best football under him since Ole. Yeah, it's all well and good. Yeah, we can obliterate teams like Leeds 5-0 one game. We could then go and draw against Southampton when we should obliterate them off the park. We then go and beat whoever it was we played. We then go and beat Newcastle quite comfortably. And then we go and lose to an average Swiss team who probably aren't better than Norwich and would get relegated if they were in the Premier League. I'm sorry, it's not good enough and you need to improve. That's my rant over for today. So if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe and check out all the links in the description. If you disagree with anything I say, please put it in the comments. I'd really like to hear some of your thoughts on my opinions of last night's defeat. And I will be back on Monday in my uni accommodation, as I move to uni on tomorrow, where I will give my analysis on Man United's away game at West Ham, where I hope I'll be in a better mood and we get 3 points. Because honestly, if we come up with performances like that, we've got no hope.